Welcome to Caching Waves. This is an Elliott Wave update for DOGWIFHAT. Now this is off last video. I was anticipating a ending diagonal for our fifth wave of the third of a larger degree, and this was the path I wanted it to follow. This is as per guidelines. We expect our third wave to happen either in the same amount of time or quicker than our first wave. We also expect to contract with trend lines on the way up. So when you're doing Elliott Wave and you're anticipating these moves, you have to be aware of the path it should take following guidelines. Because when it starts to deviate from that, that's the time you should start analyzing another scenario. Obviously, you have those ideas in your head beforehand, but you want to get on as soon as you see it going against guidelines. Because if I go to this chart, which is live, yes, we're technically still valid, but we're going against many guidelines. Like these are a series of threes, right? ABC, ABC. So we have potentially a WXY complete right here. Or this turns into a zigzag, right? And we move up to our third wave. But as you can see, it's looking very weak. In this scenario, if we pivot from our low to our high and we expect this to hold, we're already past the 786. So we're going against many guidelines for this third wave to pan out. So I still have my stop at this low, but I am planning on bailing out of this personally. So as of right now, I'm considering the alternatives. I'm going to show you that count, and that count is that we topped right here in our third of a larger degree. So we'll see what happens here. I'm not completely bearish on it yet until obviously we make new lows. But there is ways to recover here. It would just change this count, and it would most likely not be an ending diagonal anymore. We'd end up making some sort of flat pattern up to this level, like so, and that would be a wave 1 and 2 of the fifth. That would be my anticipation if we make a push to the upside. I wouldn't really consider it a diagonal anymore. I'd be looking for something completely different if we're bullish still. But I'm going to go to my new count and show you that. As you can see, we came up to our zone we were expecting. We were looking for about just under $5, and that was the 1-to-1 extension of wave 1 off wave 4 I had labeled, but we didn't quite hit that. But if you pay attention to our fibs from our 1-2 in green, we came past the 1.786 for our third, got a very shallow fourth, and our fifth came up to the 2.382 extension. So we have met the requirements there to be a completed 5-wave, right, off the lesser degree. Now on the larger 1-2, we only hit the 1.382. So what I would expect here is if we're correcting this entire wave to the upside as a fourth, we need to extend out in time and price to the downside, and our zone there is between the 382, like 110 and 171, right into the previous fourth wave, which is pretty wide. That was our low of it, our beginning, and our high. Like we got a pretty wide zone here, right? Now if we go to linear scale, we're already through that, so we're not going to look at that. But this would be our zone we're looking at here for a reversal. So unless something changes and we make a push to that higher prices, this is now my bias that we're correcting these waves as a 5-wave impulse. Now, if we take as much time as the wave 2, I just projected that out, that should take us to the first week of April. And then we'd look for our reversal for our 5th wave. But again, probably just targeting the 1.618 since we came to the 1.382, unless we get extensions. So targeting that $5, I'm just expecting a larger term correction. And it'd be nice if we came down to around $1, right? And we're expecting a, 400 or 500% move after that. So I want to talk about this area down here and how we could have actually topped. So this was the bottom of our fourth I had marked out. So we need for this to be a 5-wave move. And in this scenario, again, we didn't hit ideal fibs. This would be our 1, 2. And that was most likely a flat here, WXY. And we came through the 1.618 for our third. That would be our third. And how this would have to work is we made a higher high against the third wave. So you can see right there. Where I have the fifth is where I would put it. Let me zoom right in here to show you. This is our third. We then get A, B, C for our fourth, and our fifth made a slightly higher high against our third. So you see that topping pattern. That's a B wave. So this is all our correction here. And we get our A, B, C. Fifth makes a slightly higher high above our third. That's how we top in 5. But you can see we made a slightly lower low below the correction. So on log scale, we came up shy of the 200 for our fifth. So that would be our high there. This is pretty ugly down on the 15-minute, but just want to show you how it's possible there. Just want to make sure these are good. That would be our start, be our bottom. There's our 1-to-1, so we pass the 1-to-1, it's valid. These would be 3-wave patterns. A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. And that would be our A wave. Looking for our B, most likely up here, WXY, series of zigzags, as you can see. And we would be looking for this to end up making a 5-wave move for our C wave. Coming down to about 195, or we could get extended to 140 if we get the 1.618. But that's how I'd label it currently, unless this is extending out. Like this could be an A wave, A, B, C, like a flat, and then we come down, right? But as you can see, it's a very tough area. I don't really see how we recover impulsively unless we make a running flat to the upside. And what that would look like is we push, and then we make our matching leg here. It's an A, B, C. So we'll pull those pivots one more time here. 1-to-1 and the 1.618. Yep, that works. So that would be our A wave, or even yeah, that would be A wave. How did that measure out? Sorry, just doing this in real time. ABCX, ABC. Came just past the 1-to-1. And this would be, you can see it's really ugly down at the 15-minute. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'd want to see another move to the downside to consider this 5 waves. I don't think it really fits. If that was wave 1, the 618. If this is a wave 1, get a 1, 2, 3, flat, 4, 5. So we'd be on a third wave in a zigzag. And we'd be getting 3 up here. We can come a little bit higher, but we wouldn't want to overlap with this wave here to invalidate the first one. And if this is our third, we'd want to hold the 618. Ideally the 50, but 618 at worst. Yeah. So yeah, I want to see what happens in this zone. Again, it's a very difficult zone because this could all be part of a correction itself and we come down, or we're just still in the middle of a B wave, or we complete 5 to the downside. And I'd look for potentially a short after that corrective move. Yeah, guys, that's what I'm looking at. Either we recover here pretty significantly, and this makes some sort of running flat to the upside, or we come down in a corrective nature in a series of 3s down to that like 110 area. All right, guys, that's it for DOGWIFHAT. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.